First, I just wanted to thank you guys for jumping in right now and taking some of your really valuable time and being here with us and with me and the IB team. And, I'm really excited to be here. Definitely nervous, so bear with me. But again, it's a real exciting community. I've been an IB member for about a year, and I've just loved the community and the team and the people who are engaged. All of you guys, it takes a village to run businesses and to feel empowered to do so. And so I'm glad that we have this supportive community. It just means so much. So with that, I'm going to jump into the webinar, and then I believe there'll be about 15 minutes for questions at the end. So if you have any, you can add them in. There's an Ask a Question button. You can just add them in there, and then I'll go through them at the end. So let's go into my webinar. I'm going to share my screen with you guys, so bear with me for a minute. Okay, cool. All right. Okay. So, Tara, are we good? Can everyone see? All right, cool. So, again, I just wanted to welcome you guys. I kind of have this love of design lovers. Want to say hello to you guys. Thank you for your time. Before we begin, I just wanted to say that in putting this webinar together, I know the title of it seems like a lot, like 10 hacks, to evolve your business. It could be a lot, but I really took a lot of time to think about actionable and accessible items for you. We're all really busy. Running a business might not be our most positive thing we can do, or the most important thing. It's we're better designers, or we're better at this, but running a business is so important, and you can really learn how to do it really beautifully and successfully. So I wanted to give you guys really cool tips that made sense in the length of time and that were achievable for you. So there's tips like operations or technical tips, but there's also perspective idea tips that I'm going to give you. So I just really took some time to put this together for you guys in that vein. So, the webinar. So it is the 10 best hacks to completely evolve your creative biz or your design biz. There's 10 in here, but they're actually broken into just 3 categories. So this will maybe help it feel a bit more comfortable. So we're going to talk a lot about your time, your website, and your brand. They're all 3 outrageously important components of a business. They all need to be nurtured and paid attention to in really wonderful ways. So I'm going to give you some ideas on how to utilize all of these in the best way. Before we jump in, I want to tell you a little bit about me, who I am. I'm Rebecca. I own Orlov Design Co. We are a bespoke digital design company based in Las Vegas. We work with clients around the country, as well as locally. Prior to launching my business, I worked most of my career in advertising agencies, as well as in-house for clients for about 15 years or so. I was a producer. I produced TV commercials, content, video, experiential campaigns, just a ton of stuff. You've seen a lot of my stuff, I'm sure, on air. I've done projects for PlayStation, DirecTV, Revlon, Toyota, Starwood Hotels, TGI Fridays, Hyundai, Expedia, DKNY, HP, and more. Lots of different kind of fun clients. What's been really cool about my ad career, I think, for me, and what's been valuable as a small business owner now, I've worked inside really, really large corporate companies. I've also worked inside tiny startups. So I've really seen kind of the ebb and flow of how different size businesses run. And you can scale inside of a tiny business, and you can also minimize inside of a large business. So there's lots of really wonderful, experiences I've had that have really kind of brought me to where I am today. So that's been a really nice adventure. Blogging. So I was a really kind of an early adopter to blogging and social media. I started a blog in 2007 called Loving Living Small. At the time, there really were not that many blogs at all. In fact, it's funny, InStyle magazine like picked my little blog as like a best of web. It was like one of their issues. It was like best of web home. There were like 5 blogs, and Design Sponge was one of them. And it was just like an amazing like milestone that I was recognized for that. But it was funny because they didn't even have a web presence at the time. Like Instagram wasn't around, obviously. I think they had like a digital magazine version, but I have the magazine in my home office. It's funny, like there's no web presence of it. Also, kind of from that time, from 2007-8, I started writing for really influential and reputable websites and blogs, such as Apartment Therapy. I was an editor for the LA group for many years, HGTV, Refinery, Rue, House, Pop Sugar, Washingtonian, House Beautiful, and more. I don't blog that much anymore, although I actually just revamped my blog for my business, which I'll talk about later. But I actually write for a real magazine now. It's a side project I love, and it's one of the local Las Vegas magazines called Luxury Las Vegas, and I do style and trend roundups for them. And so it's kind of fun to like have a tangible piece of like, material, like a magazine I can flip through. So that's really fun. So my business, I launched Orlov Design Co. in early 2017. Again, we are a little bespoke digital design agency. We build websites for small business owners and artisanal brands. I initially launched my business model actually with interior design in mind. But I really missed working with small businesses and other people. I really love that, and I think I'm good at it. So I wanted to evolve my business to focus a bit more on website design and helping businesses kind of create their brand and visual narrative. So it's something I just really love. And so I still do interior design work, like kind of small staging projects. I like to get my hands a little dirty in design still. So that's a nice outlet to still have. And, I think you guys can relate as a small business owner. I really have learned so much about myself and like what capacity that I have to grow. And this is both from like an operational, like technical point of view, as well as like an emotional one. I mean, we all know running or managing a small business, it's amazing. It's not amazing. It's like everything in between. So, it's really about just recognizing that you're taking the journey and you're doing an amazing job at it, even in like the day-to-day grind, like, to embrace that. So all of these 10 hacks and these 10 tips are really there to help nurture and manage your business. And then one more quick thing before we jump in about me. I'm a mama. I have a really beautiful young daughter who's 4.5, and she's quite funny and spirited. And, she's obviously a huge part of my life. And for me, having a really defined work balance for me and my business is important. So I've weaved that into my business model and my time model. All right. So moving into the webinar. So I wanted to take a minute and kind of like define these 2 words for you guys, because I think they're actually kind of interesting ones. So creative, design, creative. I looked this up, it's like marked by, this is Merriam-Webster. So marked by the ability or the power to create, given to creating, or the creative genius. And I just love this so much. And it's funny, I read this article and I need to find it. This is a long time ago. And it was like this whole idea that as human beings, we're actually, every human is born creative, in the sense that from a very young toddler age, baby age, we pick up crayons, markers, and just draw, creating. Eras ago, it was sticks in the sand, whatever it was, we just create. And as we get older, that sometimes gets stopped, or other responsibilities kind of take over. For example, like put your crayons down and clean your room, put this down and do that. So it's really a matter of staying true to your creative spirit. If you're here, then you absolutely have. And, I think that's really wonderful. So we're all naturally creative, and I think that's great. The word hack. So I wasn't sure what word to use. I was going to use tips, but I like the word hack because of this definition, which is also in Merriam-Webster. It's a clever tip or technique for creating or improving something. And it's funny because this definition was like number 10. Like number 1 was like a rough edge, like what we know hacking as, like hacking something off and a jagged edge or a shortcut. But it really is like taking, it's not like shortcutting yourself. It's more about being the most streamlined or efficient. Again, your time is so valuable. So creating methods or opportunities to utilize your time so you can actually work, design for your clients. I mean, that's why you got into this. You didn't really get into this to like send emails, right? So these, I hope, are tips and hacks that will help you do the work that you love. So moving in. Okay, so I love this quote so much. I just totally found it on Pinterest and there was no credit. So I just wrote how everyone feels. So it's either you run the day or the day runs you. I mean, I just thought this was brilliant and it's perfect for your work life, your personal life, your life. It's just like, it's so true, right? So this, obviously, we're going to segue into the time hacks. And the truth is, of course, a lot of days you're like, oh, what a day, or that was a crazy day, or I had a challenging day. But there really are opportunities every day to lead your own day. So instead of keeping up with your day, you're actually setting your day. So we'll talk about that. All right, so time. Hack 1. So track what matters to you. What gets measured gets managed. So what I mean by this is, your time is 100% the most valuable component of your business, of your design business. And it's really important to be really intentional every day. Put meaning behind your day in regards to the tasks and the components you want to achieve for your business. And so when I say what gets measured gets managed, meaning you can define certain metrics or what matters for your business and then keep track of them. So you can evolve your business. You can see what's working, maybe what's not working. And the idea too is that when you track a metric, you're placing value on it. You're being mindful of it. It's important to you, which I think is wonderful and such an interesting concept. Maybe you haven't thought of that. So I'm going to give you guys some examples of metrics or milestones that you can track for your business. These are some that I use for my own. You can track the amount you're making per month, the amount you're charging per client or per project rather, the number of inquiries you're getting per week, the number of clients you're booking per week, and your email subscribers or even your unsubscribers. So these are just 5 examples of metrics that you can track what matters to you in your business. So we all want to grow our businesses. And sometimes if you're stagnant, maybe something isn't working exactly the way it could. So if you're tracking every week and you're just say, it's really simple actually, like I'm going to track my client inquiries. Well, let me look at my email. I had 3 inquiries this week. I booked 1 of them. Okay, well, that could be success for you. That could be a definition of success. Perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's like, I should have booked all 3. You can take, at least you have a snapshot now of where you are and where you want to be. So you can, the following week, be like, let me change a bit of my messaging. How can I improve certain areas of my website or my marketing so I can maybe book those last 2 clients of that week? So again, track what matters to you. It'll save you so much time. And then you're really creating kind of snapshots, weekly snapshots of your business. By the end of the month or the year, you'll have a really, really good point of view on the achievements that you made for the year, your successes. All right, hack 2, define your process IRL, so in real life. So I'm sure, and I do still do this, and I actually have to work on it. There's so many times you're like, yeah, I totally, and someone emails you, okay, cool, and like, we're gonna do this, and then we'll do that. No, we don't need to do that anymore. You can actually, literally, I want you to write out your process, on pen to paper or on your computer. Write down the exact steps. They can just be bullet points. And this is for you. This is internally facing of your processes or the scope. So for example, all of your marketing collateral, this is whether it's like a newsletter template, an email template, these should all be written out. Your proposals should be completely written out already. I have 3 separate proposals. I have one for my website design and builds. I have one for my e-commerce website design and builds, and one for my branding exercise design and builds. And they are literally written out with places left open for the client's name, their scope of work. I customize them per client, but they're really all written out and they're ready to go. I'm not reinventing that wheel every time. That takes so much time. Not only are you switching gears from what you were doing or intending to do, which could be the work for an existing client, But your creative flow is shifting now to business. And that's a big change. You're like losing some of that mojo that you might have had for the creative. You're shifting now to do this business work, which you could have already had done and ready to go. So one more thing too that I love, which people don't always do, and it's so helpful, you guys. It has saved me hours and hours and hours and hours. I'm telling you, canned emails. A canned email is a pre-written email, like a template that you often use. So my process is pretty straightforward. When a client contacts me, they've already pre-answered some questions that I had ready to go in that form. And then we have our phone console, or I have a thank you for contacting me email. It's already written. I'm of course changing their name and a bit about the information that they've provided me, but that base email is so clear and it's already written. I have that same for almost every step of every process. So I'm not reinventing that wheel. I'm not rewriting, okay, what do I send to the client when I have their proposal ready? Like that's written already. I revise it to that client and you're ready to go. So define your processes, you guys. It'll change really how you work. It's awesome. All right, hack 3, book yourself just like you would a client. And it's funny, I'm surprised I didn't put this as number 1 because I say this all the time. I say this to my clients. I say it to myself. I did an Ivy webinar in, I think, November. I said it during that webinar. I did a podcast with Ivy. I say it in that. Like, book yourself just like you would a client. So at least one time a week, book yourself literally into your schedule as a working session. This is not a personal hour of your day to like check email or like send like, I don't know, do like a personal thing. It's an hour for your work. You're working. And treat this block of time just like you would treat a client's block of time. So be intentional, prepare, have notes, have actionable items ready to go. On that note, you're going to create actionable items that you can achieve during the session, your 1-hour session, or maybe for the follow-up session, the following Monday. Let's say Monday's your day or Sunday nights or whatever it is, so that you are seeing success. So, and you're saving that time, you're doing the work. So perhaps you want to build and launch a newsletter for the month, and you are going to make time to do that. Edit your monthly content calendar, draft a new blog post, engage in Instagram for a bit, comment, build a Facebook post. This is your time for your business. This is not time to do client work. This is time to do your business work. You have to, much like your health, you have to get good sleep, eat healthy, be kind to yourself, take a yoga class, health, wellness. You have to do the same for your business. You have to manage it and nurture it and care for it so it can grow and be good and thrive. So it's just a really interesting perspective. So again, schedule yourself. And by the way, speaking of schedules, one thing I recommend, a hack, is using a scheduling platform. I use Acuity. It's like $15 a month. It's a third party. I literally copy the code. I plugged it into my website. You can go right on orlovdesignco.com into my scheduling page, and it's right there. I even have section that's like for new new clients, for current clients. I have a lot of opportunity there, and I can go in myself on the back end and book time. So I block out time for my working sessions. I block out time for any other project work I'm doing. And it's really, I even block out time, if I have my daughter's, dance recital at school, I block out time. It's work-life balance, and I'm able to do that through the scheduling platform. It's really helpful. There's a bunch of different ones. I like Acuity. So anyway, it's just something to think about. All right, cool. So those are just 3 of my first hacks for you guys. So moving on to your website. So creativity is intelligence having fun. By good old Albert Einstein. I really love this quote by him, and it's just like a fantastic quote about strategy. Listen, in strategy, think of it almost as just being mindful or thoughtful. It's a chance to define who you are in a really expressive way through a creative outlet. And it's a good thing, right? So let's move into some website hacks. So there's a lot here, you guys, and there's a lot more, but I wanted to focus on some like perspective point of view. There's also some technical hacks in here that are super easy to do. So hack 4, let your website do the business heavy lifting. Okay, this is a perspective hack. Your website is your 100% best sales tool. It should do all of that work for you because you're busy working. You know, again, if you want to be like a salesperson, that's another career. You know, allow your platforms, now that they're so accessible, whether it's your visual platforms, sharing your personality like Instagram, Facebook, or your website, which is your business personality, your business storefront, you know, have it do the heavy lifting, have it be your sales tool. It should have all of your pertinent information, you know, your visual style, your type of work, what your services are, you know, your fees, perhaps, your process, anything you feel is important to share a bit about you and your company should be on your website. And, you know, what you're really doing is you're empowering your site visitor. You know, you're bringing them in as like a trusted partner, like, come on in. You're welcome to see, you know, look around and see what I have going on. I'd love to like have you be part of this. And as you go through a website experience, you're coming and flowing through different call to actions, these CTAs. This is what drives people to different parts of a site. And obviously there'll be a reward. So if someone's being driven to check out your portfolio, they're rewarded with beautiful projects, beautiful imagery. You know, just as an example, I launched what I'm calling project blocks recently, and I wanted my website to have it available, not hidden away under a services tab, but I wanted it on the main page above, like below the fold, and have it be visible to you guys and to whoever visits, because I want to sell this amazing new service. I think it's a cool service. I'm doing new project experiences. So it's 2 weeks, one client, and 100% dedication in that time. And so I want people who are interested in building a website, who are ready to go to build a website, to know that they have this option with me. And in a way, it's, you know, certainly it's a sales tool, which is great. So if they want to learn more, I'm not bombarding them. I'm allowing them to contact me. So again, your website is your best sales tool. And I think that's just such a great perspective that I think some people might not think about. So again, that's a good one. And your site flow helps too, right? All right, so moving on. A landing page is your BFF. This is hack 5. Landing pages or cover pages. So some people might think of these as like the under construction page. It kind of is, and it's not. So I just want you to think about this. Not everyone is ready to dedicate to building a website. Maybe they're too busy in their work to fully dedicate, because it takes time, you guys. It takes time and presence to be part of the collaboration to build a website. It's your brand, it's your business. Even when you're working with a collaborator like myself, it takes time and you have to be part of it. So maybe you're too busy to do the actual full site build, or maybe you're not exactly sure what your visual narrative is, what you want to present out there. You're still working on that. So even if you're in one of these two camps, you still can have a digital presence, and you absolutely should have a digital presence. And you can achieve this by a simple landing page. So a landing page is really a static image or a carousel, maybe 2 or 3 rotating images that a visitor can reach when they type in your domain, and they'll just get like really simple, relevant information. You know, your logo's there, your contact information is there as well. And what it's also doing is it's kind of like verifying that you are a thoughtful and modern business, you know, especially in a creative field, a design business. The fact that you've been thoughtful enough to like launch a website for your potential clients or site visitors is so important. You know, they want to know that you're invested. You know, if you're going to invest, if they're going to spend all this money to work with you on an interior design project, they want to know that at least you can invest in your business, right? So it's really, really easy actually to do a landing page, and it's really affordable too. It's one of the services we offer, but you can also do it yourself. Landing pages are so easy. And one more thing I want you to think about. So MailChimp, which is I use MailChimp. It's a free, they have tiered options, but it's a free email marketing platform. They say that landing pages help you build customer loyalty and increase profits by focusing on a specific short-term goal. And I love this. So your goal with the landing page is to share your information. And also, it's a great way to get interested parties to maybe subscribe to your email list. So maybe on your landing page, you can add, even if you're under construction, you're not even ready to go with the website, or you even have a full website already, you can lay a landing page over it and add an email form. Maybe if you're building your website, like I have a great client right now, she's launching we're doing an e-commerce build, and we're getting up and running. And so we're going to get her landing page up with like, sign up now for early access, you know? So it's intriguing, you know, it's exciting. And what this does is you're building a community of interested parties, warm leads, if you will. So think about doing a landing page. And again, we'll quickly back to, if you have a website already, a really full functioning website, and let's say you want to, you've done your hack one, what tracks gets managed, you know, what measures gets managed, track what matters. Let's say you want to promote a new service because you've seen a decline in that area, or whatever. You can do a landing page. It's almost like a pop-up promotion, but you can do a full landing page too. And that's the first thing that a site visitor will see when they come to your website. And it's a singular action. It's like, click here to check out our new service. So, or whatever you want to add in. But so whether you're up and running, you can have a landing page. If you have no idea what you want to do for your brand narrative, your visual narrative, you can have a landing page. And if you have a good idea, but you don't have the time to commit to building a website right now, you can have a landing page too. But definitely have one. Definitely. All right, so hack 6. This is a technical hack, and everyone needs to do this, please. It's so easy to do and so simple, and you're missing so many opportunities. Keyword your website's title for SEO. So search engine optimization. So do you know, and I'm leading this with like a question, do you actually know what your website's title is? So up there, like in the tab, you have the little favicon, which is the little square thumbnail, and then you have a title. Have you written this out? Like, do you know what's up there? And if you haven't done this, don't worry, we've got you. We're gonna like tell you how to do it. But I will say this, your site's title is one of the best SEO hacks out there. And you must go and do this right after the webinar. Like at 10:35, like go to your website and change this if you haven't done this already. But stay on the webinar for now. But do it after. So basically, SEO is an acronym for search engine optimization. I'm sure you've heard it. It's really utilizing important keywords so that all those search bots and crawlers can find your site and then push you up the rankings, like for Google search, for example. So I've done this for my business. And if you Google Squarespace designer Las Vegas, I'm usually #1. Sometimes 2, it changes, but usually #1. And this is under the paid ads. Usually there's like 3, 4, 5 paid ads. And by the way, I'm talking organic media, organic SEO, meaning you're doing it yourself. You're not paying an ad to push to the top. It's just a natural, you're just keywording it in. So that's called organic media, organic. And so I'm going to show you guys my title. Ready? Very exciting. So my title is Orlov Design Co. with a line, and then it says a Las Vegas-based Squarespace design company, Squarespace website design, e-commerce, and branding. I mean, would you ever put that on a business card? It's like, no, it's so crazy. But it's 100% normal and acceptable for a website. So what I've done is I'm applying like common keywords that I feel most people would be searching if they're looking for someone like me. So I added in my city, I added in my main service, which is website, like design, and I added in my tool, and my tool happens to be Squarespace. So how this would apply for you as a designer, you can add in your city. Maybe you're like a Sarasota, Florida-based kitchen and bath interior designer. You know, really highlight your niche because that's going to bring you your clients. I've gotten several inquiries and had phone consults and projects with people via Las Vegas who have, I'm like, how did you find me? They're like, Google. And it's like, it's working. You know, I have a tiny budget for some targeted media, like targeted ads. I'm doing some Instagram boosts. But other than that, I'm not spending money on Google AdWords. I'm not spending money right now on media. So it's been so helpful, you guys. And it's so easy to do. You just, you know, in Squarespace, there's literally a tab, a section. It's like logo and title. Type it in, save, and there you go. So please keep that in mind, you guys, and go and do this right after our webinar. And by the way, you can also weave in these common words throughout your website. This is a form of SEO. There's a lot of different methods of search engine optimization, but one of them is including keywords. So if you go through my website, especially in my blogs, I use the word Squarespace in front of website often. And I do that in hopes of gaining, the search ranks. So again, it's a super easy hack, and I hope you guys do it because it will absolutely help you. And I love, and I want you guys to get all that great business in your town. All right, so those are our 3 hacks for our website right now. All right, moving into branding. So I love this. Of course, I want to share it with you. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Could this be more true, especially for a small business? It's really about, there's so much, it's a symbiotic experience between the business owner and the business. You put so much of your personality and, the blood, sweat, and tears and emotion into your business. You want to shine and thrive and feel and resonate with your site visitors or potential clients or customers. And so it's really about why you do it. And branding is different than a brand. So branding, let's move into that. Your branding is kind of like your, what I call a brand narrative, your story, why you're doing what you do. So these tips will help you with managing and the wellness of your brand. So you can create assets, whether it's for your website, your social media, like an email, newsletter, whatever it is, but you're creating components and assets that will help save time. So you're doing this perhaps in like hack 3, which is book time. You're doing this in your working sessions, and that you don't need to spend time building these over and over again. You have it done. Okay, so hack 7, brand toolkit. So important, you guys. And again, so easy to do. You just need to make the time. So have you built your brand toolkit? And this could be something, and how I organize mine, and I recommend for you, a folder on your desktop called brand toolkit, and all these folders inside. So your brand toolkit is essentially comprised of your key assets that you need to manage the look and the feel of your brand voice and your business. So kind of think of it as part media kit, part brand kit. I kind of call it like so organized kit, because you want to be organized with this stuff, and it will absolutely save you time every single time. So here are some examples of items that you can put into your toolkit. You can have, I want you to have your logos, all different sizes, a JPEG, PNGs, color, black and white, whatever versions of your logos you have them all ready to go. Have your bio photos. Have your project, like selected work photos, ready to go and packaged in different folders. Have your project details, like a one sheet, ready to go. Your services one sheet, your company bio, your social media handles, really anything that is relevant to your business and that you will need. So, by far, I would say that creating a toolkit is one of your best uses of time. You could do it in 2 working sessions, maybe 1. Especially if you're launching a business, make this time. If you've been in business for a long time, you could totally stop and do this at one of your working sessions. Be like, I'm going to do my brand toolkit now. It's going to change how you work, because you're not going to worry about, oh my gosh, I need to get all these things together. There's a press opportunity, or a potential client wants my press kit. It's done. It's sitting there and it's just waiting for you to pull, attach, and send the email. So, this whole idea of I'm giving you guys hacks that ideally you can use together, in conjunction with each other. So remember hack 2, which was define your process in real life. Well, this is really that action. So building the toolkit. So I thought this was kind of cute. So it's essentially the visual version of it. So make and take the time to collect your assets. So when Vogue Living calls you for press selects, a high-res logo, and your bio, you're like, okay, Vogue Living, here you go. You're like, everything's ready. Within minutes, you can send it off to them. And again, this saves you so much time. So, you don't have to reinvent the wheel when you can design your rooms for Vogue Living, right? So focus on what you want to be doing, which is design work. It's not building a logo, probably. It's not, writing out your bio. Those are not things you want to be doing when you're trying to be creative. So build that toolkit. It'll help you so much. All right, your font library. So making your branding and your collateral and your marketing design builds, they're actually really easy from an operational side. If you have a dedicated, what I call a fab font library ready to go, a selected group of fonts that you have prepared that you can just pull from right away. There's tons and tons of fonts. If you've been on Font Squirrel, defont.com, there's just millions of fonts that you can scroll through at all times, and it can be overwhelming. So create your collection, especially your collection of your header, your main fonts that you have on your website and or your marketing and collateral. which I recommend being similar or the same. So it's cohesive across all of your assets. But for example, like once your font palette is typically comprised of your main header, header 2, header 3, the body text, and then you'll have like a few other ones thrown in there that you like to weave in. So again, once this is set and it's in place, you can just like really access it without having to search and search and search. You know, it's like, where's that perfect font? Well, you already have them. You have them pulled. So I'll show you guys a few of mine. So if you go on my website and inside of this webinar even, you'll see these fonts are repeated. Almost all these are free. I paid for this first one via Creative Market, which is a marketplace I love, totally recommend using for you guys. This one's called the Style Edit. It's like a handwritten font that I love. So that's what that one looks like. Hebo, Orlov Design Co., which is the one to the right of that. I love this one so much. It has like 10 font weights. It goes from like extra thin to like really, really bold. I use that all the time. This one with like the bold serif is called A Real Fat Face. Silly name. It's actually the titles of all my webinar titles. I just thought it was like a fun, bold font. I don't use it all the time because it's like a big font, but I think it's kind of a fun one. And then I love Good Old Fashioned Times New Roman. I think it's elegant, and I have it as my header 2 on my own website. So yeah, pick your font library. I actually have a surprise for you guys at the end of this webinar in regards to this. So think about building your font library so you don't have to spend any time searching for fonts. I know it sounds, but as a creative person, and you know, you want it to look amazing, so you'll spend so much time searching for fonts. Have them picked, have them ready to go, and you'll save so much time. All right, hack 9, email. All right, so we're going to go through this one together because I'm getting back into email, or kind of getting into email myself. So email, it's really the one thing you really own. And by own, I mean you've been given permission by a subscriber to use their information. So I don't know if you know this, but Instagram owns your photos. And if they shut that platform down, they're gone. Of course, you have them saved to your camera roll, but your visual connection with, or like your community is gone, right? And so all those photos are gone too. So Facebook and there's other visual platforms, same thing. If they shut down, everything goes with it. So email, or rather your subscriber's email address, is something you own. And I have quotes around it because they've given you permission to use it to contact them. And they're not going anywhere unless they organically unsubscribe. Like if they unsubscribe themselves, but they're there. And what this is, it's like the #1 warm lead generation. So a warm lead is a sales term which is used, it's someone that you know or have a connection with. You know, there's the cold leads, which is like a cold lead, or I think it's called, is like when you're just cold calling someone, you don't know them. But a warm lead, there's like already an established level of trust and that emotional connection, which is someone has come to your landing page or your website. They were compelled because of something on your site, whether it was visual or content, to sign up to hear more from you. I mean, it's amazing, right? It's great. Like, I think, especially a small business, to have someone subscribe to your email, and it's really exciting because then you can provide really great information back to them. Certainly, hey, I have spots open for business, or hey, I thought this was cool. But the point is, you're building a community, you're building trust, and hey, maybe that person isn't ready to do a project, but maybe a friend of theirs is. So again, it's really nice to build your email. You own it. You can really utilize it as like a warm lead. And I just think it's exciting. Remember, when people sign up, especially a small business, if they sign up for your email, that's exciting. They're compelled to learn more about you and they're curious. They want to know more. All right, so those are the hacks for branding. And so we have one more, you guys. And the quote for this one is "Just do it." Nike's motto, we know this. So this isn't a technical hack or an operational hack. And it's really like a perspective shift hack. And it's helped me a lot. And I just want to share it because I think it's a word that doesn't get the attention it needs. It's because it's really a beautiful, positive word. So confidence. Confidence. I feel like the word confidence has been given like a weird definition by society. Like it's like not a positive thing to be confident. Having confidence is really like the act of doing, right? It's kind of like the journey, not the destination. So again, this isn't really like a real hack, but I think it's like a really wonderful layer of emotion to weave through your business and through your personal experiences. So I just want to encourage you to rethink of the concept and like flip it into like a really positive way. So this is the hack, you guys. Embracing confidence is really the act of doing. So we each have set our own measures of success. You know, maybe your success is to do one client a month. Maybe your measure of success is to have 5 clients a month. Whatever that is, it's your journey, your business journey, and your level of success, right? So having the confidence to be like, you know, I'm going to give this a shot and see how I do. And maybe you will kill it. You're going to book all 5 of those clients. That could be, that's great. But maybe you got 2. Well, hey, you got 2 out of the 5. And you know what? You actually did it. You did the work and it paid off, right? Sometimes maybe you won't get any clients, but the fact is you gave it a shot. So get back up and try it again, right? And like make no doubt, and this is one thing that I think is something to really think about, which a lot of people don't. It's not just having the confidence, you're really present, like super present in the action of doing. Where you're like, I'm going to really make this time to build, this marketing asset. I'm going to send it out and book those clients. Like you were so present, like that was your focus and that was what you were working on. And more or less, it's going to pay off. It's going to be great. So confidence is an awesome thing, you guys. And just the fact that you're going for it, I mean, I think it's such a great thing. So confidence is my hack 10, the act of doing. So embrace that. I work on it too, but I'm trying as well, but it's a good thing to remember. So to recap, let's see if we got on time. All right, a few more minutes. So to recap, these are the 10 hacks to completely evolve your business. Track what matters to you. Define your processes in real life. Book time for yourself just like you would a client. Let your website do the heavy lifting. Your landing page is your BFF. Keyword your website's title. Love that one. Build your brand toolkit. Design your font library. Email, it's like the one thing you really own. And confidence, just do it. So these are the 10 hacks for evolving your design business. And I just want to wrap it up by saying, really be kind to yourself. Like life, work, and everything in between all of that is a lot, but it's really amazing. We often are like, oh, the day-to-day grind, or today was so hard. But you know what? It was kind of amazing. You run your own business. I think that's like amazing. Like, I think the fact that you're doing it and you're getting up and you're like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to run this business based on what makes sense for you is a huge success and achievement. So I think it's just something to remember. Be really gentle with yourself because you are doing it. You are doing it. Set actionable items, set milestones that are achievable. And it will give you confidence and, the strength to keep going and to help your business grow. So I just love that idea. And then one more thing too, and I actually did an a podcast interview with Lee and Alex recently, which was remind yourself why you pursue design in the first place. What was the spark, the delight, and the desire that got you going? And just stay true to that every single day as you go on your business adventure. And it will really, really make you feel excited again, happy to be here every day, and just to get through those challenging clients or challenging situations. You're like, you know what, but I really love design, and this is why I started this business. So keep that in mind. It will help you a lot too, you guys. And that's it. So, again, thank you to you for your valuable time. I know you're really busy, and it takes time out of your creative space to do this. So if this was your hour of your booking yourself as you would a client, then that's awesome. It was my hour also. So thank you guys. And then of course, thank you to Ivy for having me again. I love you guys. It's such an amazing community you've built. It's been a big part of my business health, like as far as like people I'm meeting and just the supportive nature has been wonderful. It takes a tribe, you guys. And I feel supported, and I'm happy to support you guys and be there for you, which is why I wanted to do this webinar. So again, thank you for having me. And then this is me. You can find me at orlovdesignco.com, always at hello@orlovdesignco.com. And my social media stuff, I'm on Instagram, trying to build that up a lot. And I'm on Twitter mostly. But on that note of it takes a tribe, I wanted to say one more thing, you guys. So it's funny, they're free, but they're only free because they're just free, but they're just, I love doing this. So I have some stuff for you guys if you're interested. You know, again, it takes a huge village of supportive people, and I want to be able to be that for you guys too. If you're interested, you can head over to, or send me an email actually at hello@orlovdesignco. Just say hello. And I'm going to send a link to you to go access. I have this exact PowerPoint presentation. You can download and use it for yourself. It's actually a lot bigger. I think it has like 20 extra frames that I didn't even use. So you can download this PowerPoint presentation. Some of the images are in there that I used. You can have them. I have a collection of 16 styled stock photos that are awesome. Some of them are in this PowerPoint. Some of them are on my website. Use them for your marketing collateral or your website, whatever you want. They're all free. I actually got most of them from unsplash.com, which is an awesome, awesome website that gives free photography away. I'm not affiliated with them. I just use them all the time. I think they're so great. So go and support them and use them. Some of the images are images that I took with my own camera. So I hope you guys enjoy those. And then I have a font library for you guys already created, 9 fonts, ready to go. Just download them and you're off to the races. There you go. And then I have a guide that I created a few months ago that I wanted to link in as well. It's just 25 like just awesome resources. I think this was like built originally from my first Ivy webinar, but it's 25 resources, including like my top 3 picks for like photo editing apps, video editing apps, so on and so forth. So you'll have access to all of that. And again, I'm just launching Project Blocks. So if you're interested in doing a project with Orlov Design Co., building out your site, please get in touch, you guys. There's about 9 spaces left for the whole year until the end of the year. Again, these are 2-week blocks of time dedicated to one client on their one website design and build. So if you're ready to go and you're like, let's do this, this is perfect for you. There's a lot more information over on my site. You can find it. It's my sales tool, so you can find it. And again, thank you. And I guess we're going to move into some questions. So let me see if I can do this correctly. All right, so I'm going to get out of my PowerPoint. All right, cool. All right. Tara, I don't know. Sorry, Tara. I'm going to ask Tara a quick question. How to, where the little X is showing to get out of the power. Oh, there it is. Okay, guys, 1 second. Oh, it's like half gone. Okay. All right, well, it's half gone, so I'm not sure why the whole thing isn't going away, but let me answer some of the questions you guys have. All right, yes, this presentation, oh, there it goes. Okay, so yes, this presentation, yes, I sent this actual presentation to Tara, she'll send it out to you guys, this specific one, but you also will get access to the generic version of it through my website. So thank you for that. All right, so the next question. All right, this is from, let's see, in your opinion, what's a typical interior designer's task to be prioritized first versus a task that should not be top priority? That's a great question. You know, the truth is we design because we're creative and we love it, but we want to make money, right? We want to be able to build our business and we want to be able to live our lives, right? We need to make money to live our lives, like pay our mortgages and just live our lives, travel, go out to dinner, or whatever those things are. So my recommendation is to actually follow the list that I gave you. So it's really about the number of consults you're getting and the number of consults you're booking. That's a huge part of it. So maybe if you're not booking enough projects that you need to book or that you're interested in booking for your measures of success, that you can take steps to add in new language, new collateral, new services, whatever that is. So I would definitely measure the clients that are inquiring to talk with you, your consults, and then the projects you're actually booking. So that's a good one. All right. All right, this is from Kathleen. Please re-identify the app or website. Oh, the scheduling app. It's called Acuity Scheduling. So it's ACUITY. They have a few different levels, but I just use, it's like $15 a month and it's great, you guys. It's been a crazy time saver. And it's made me feel more confident in my business because I'm not just, booking appointments or things. And I'm able to book, like, honestly, I like to take a Pilates class like twice a week. So I book that time out. It's wellness for your business and wellness for your health, your personal health. So, all right. A CTA, that's a call to action. Oh, Tara answered that. It's a call to action. It's like a marketing term. So a CTA on a website would be like, click here to learn more. Anything that's like hyperlink to encourage a site visitor to continue moving through the website. And by the way, you guys, a call to action, well, on a website. So your website it's your sales tool, right? But it's really a vehicle to get a site visitor, a potential site visitor, to you via email or a phone, right? We want to get them off your site ultimately and get them on the phone with you or in an email so you can book that client, right? So just remember that. All the call to actions layered through your site are really encouraging clients or potential visitors, those curious clients or curious site visitors, to become awesome clients, right? Okay, so another question from Kathleen. Please speak further on a typical CTA for a designer to a typical home owner. It's a great question. So something you want to bring in the potential client into, you want to have them be on your, like, a neutralize the field, because some people might be intimidated, like they don't know how to design. So they're coming to you, you're the expert. So bring them in, like you're already wrapping your arms around them. So a call to action can be like, how can we work together? Learn more, how about we can like design a space that works for you. I love the word we. It's obviously, listen, design typically, of course, is a collaborative experience. You're guiding and you're supporting the design structure, but it's an emotional experience for the client. So the word we is really beneficial. So I hope that answered your question. All right, let's see. This is another question. Which companies would you recommend to create an easy landing page and why? That's great. So yes, well, I use Squarespace. That I'm not affiliated with them. It's just my personal business model. I thought about what I want to do, and I love Squarespace. I think that's the most beautiful, seamless and styled website experience for a lifestyle or creative business. They offer, it's just like beautiful, simple landing pages. You can actually do a landing page through MailChimp. They even offer landing pages. So, and that's free. So, you need to have your domain name bought. I just use GoDaddy. It's like, there's often discounts. So it's like $10 a year. And then when you have it, whether it's via MailChimp or Squarespace, you just link your domain and then you're up and running. All right. How do you enter keywords for SEO? This is a question from Ellen. Okay, so entering keywords, and what I meant by that, if I said that, was it's more about with the way you're writing your copy. So instead of being like, hey, we're Orlov Design Co. and we are a design agency, I like to weave in more words that someone might use to search for my business. So it's like, I'm Rebecca Orlov of Orlov Design Co. We are a bespoke digital design agency in Las Vegas, Nevada. We build and design Squarespace websites. So this is entering keywords. It's using common keywords for your business. So if, as an interior designer, if your focus is kitchen and bath, or maybe you do full service projects, historical preservation projects, whatever you do, use those words in your blog posts, in your copy on your website. That's a way to have those search bots start grabbing your site in a good way to like push it up the rankings. So I hope that answered your question, Ellen. All right, the next question. What kind of brand exercises can a designer conduct to figure out what their niche and narrative is? All right, this is a really good question, and it's very broad. There's tons and tons of brand exercises you can do, of course. I actually offer brand design and build as a service, separate of my website builds. And what that is it's helping a small business define what their narrative is. And so what we do is we'll start with doing a deep dive, like a 20-question deep dive. But the best exercise that I think you can do is doing like your brand, it's like a brand reboot. It's really just like defining who you are, why you do it, and why are you unique. And that's actually what a mission statement is. So there's special exercises that you can do to break down these components and then put it all back together. Typically, they're honestly through Q&A. It's like taking the time to answer these questions. You know, a lot of people, it's so interesting. A lot of people are like, oh, you know, I can't figure out what that is yet. I'm going to get to that later. Well, like later's now. Like you got to get to it at some point. And that could be like a really great working session. You know, I'm going to go over my mission statement today in my hour. Who are you? Why are you unique? And why, or sorry, who are you? What do you do? And why are you unique? So if you're interested in branding, please let me know. We can talk about that too. Another question, this is from Annie. Is a landing page with SEO the best way to put a new branded company out there if most of your ideal clients don't hire designers through social media, i.e. commercial developers, hotel owners? Really, really good question. Yes, absolutely. Regardless of how clients are finding you, almost every single person will find you through a website, at least to verify. It's almost I said verification, but it's almost like validation or like just knowing that it's a real company that you're like, because it's so accessible to have a website up and running these days, it doesn't make sense if you're not, and you're losing potential clients. So yes, a landing page with SEO is a really great way to put a new company up. Your Instagram and your Facebook, these are all things that should really flow back towards your site experience. Because again, we want to get those people from Instagram, from Facebook, maybe to your website, and then off. We want them over on an email with you so that you can close that deal. So yes, and Annie, if you're doing this, or if you're launching something new, you should definitely do a landing page. All right, cool. Let's see. Here's another question. For people who don't use an email platform like MailChimp, how do you recommend a design store save all email subscribers? I don't know. You know, that's hard. Maybe you can just, that's a challenging one. And why I think it's challenging is because companies like MailChimp, platforms rather, are really easy to integrate into the experience of a website. And you're just allowing, you're making it easy for the site visitor. You're making it easy for them to sign up. The only way I would suggest is having your email like really available. Like in my case, let's say I had like hello@OrlovDesignCo like all over my website, because they would have to copy that and paste it into their email browser to send me a note. And then I would have their email essentially, I guess. But yeah, so I hope I answered that correctly. So, all right. Any more questions, you guys? These are all so good. Awesome. Oh my gosh, you guys, now that I can see the side, this is so great. Thank you guys so much for taking your time again to be part of this. It was a lot of fun. I was definitely nervous. I was trying to use my hack 10, you guys, seriously, like, okay, I'm going to do this, like my confidence hack, and just the act of doing and kind of stepping outside my comfort zone. And so, but anyway, all right, guys, well, thank you again. And I'm just going to close this out. And if you have any questions about the webinar, or if you're interested in working with Orlov Design Co. with us, definitely get in touch. hello@orlovdesignco.com. We have, again, like I said, just 9 blocks left of time for the rest of the year. And what's cool about it too is if you're not exactly ready to do your site build, you can book like October or November and have that time, these few weeks, months to prepare. So just something to think about. But again, Tara has the presentation for you guys, and thank you again. This is really fun. All right, bye.